Hello, everyone. If you're turning 60 or you're already in your 60s, you're going to love this week's video. I'm sharing some of the valuable lessons and insights that I've gained in my life. They support me in thriving in a life that I love in my 60s and in the years to come. My name is Deb, and welcome to Women Reinventing Midlife TV, where we aim to inspire women over 50 to thrive in a meaningful life that you deeply desire and deserve. Turning 60 is a privilege, and it's denied to so many women, my own mum included in those women. And so for me, determined to live to a healthy old age and to thrive in that process, I never let any other outcome into my focus. But I also knew it was a possibility that I would die early like my mum did. And yet here I am now. So I'm almost 63. And when the door to 60 opened, I was excited to walk over the threshold into the next layer of my wise years. And now I'm on the other side of that threshold. I'm excited about what this next decade will bring for me and more. So, reflecting back over the last decade, I can see that I've learned some fairly harsh lessons at times. And as I came close to turning 60, the lessons became more prominent. And that's because I allowed myself to see them, I think, even confronting myself occasionally. And some of these lessons have even continued into my 60s as well. So, those lessons I've found so powerful for my own life, I'd like to share them with you. And maybe something you take from this can help you with a particular problem that you're dealing with right now. So, the first lesson I've learned is to take nothing and no one for granted. Now, this was one of my harshest lessons when my dear dad passed away less than 4 years before I turned 60. So when I think about it, life is so impermanent. And yet, for some reason, we think the people that we love the most will last forever. And I know the alternative is probably too difficult to think of. So we hide from that truth. But that can often mean we take people and life situations for granted. I will never, ever take life for granted again, nor any people who are dear to me and who I love. Things can change in an instant. And we must remind ourselves of this, especially during challenges when it often feels easier to ignore someone who's unintentionally hurt us or hope the problem will go away. Every moment, be thankful for the important people in your life and be thankful for every experience you have and every minute of your life. Life really can change in an instant, and we don't know when that will be. The second insight I want to share with you is that no thing is about you. It's just there for you to learn from it. Much easier said than done, I know this, to look at life that way and how difficult it really can be to see it at the time. And I get it. We are everything and nothing, and there is no thing that is actually about you personally, only what can be learned in your process of your own evolution. And being determined to take things personally robs us of the lessons we need to evolve. It also drains our energy and it drains our joy for life. And this interferes with what can be wonderfully close relationships and stops us from fully enjoying life. Whenever you react to what someone has said or done, chances are you're probably taking it personally. Try seeing outside of that initial illusion to notice what could be really going on for that person. We're all dealing with something, and chances are the person is dealing with something difficult themselves. They might also have a lesson to learn, or they need healing. There's also a deeper lesson for you and what's important for you too. Confronting yourself with what's really going on can be challenging, but honestly, it is worth it. It's worth doing. Number three is that we are not meant to control other people. And this is another hard one to accept at times, but it is true. Each one of us is unique with different values, different beliefs, different qualities, strengths, and self-perceived limitation. And it's all gained from unique life experience and means that we interact with the world in different ways. There are no two people exactly the same. And this means the way we personally respond and behave is not an indication of the way others will, nor does it mean we should try to get others to do things the same way we do, unless, of course, they say they want to. And that's a totally different story. If something is bothering us, it's our problem alone. It possibly means we need to deal with some past personal issues, or we need to communicate our values. That is a really, really big one. The way we feel could even mean that we need to move on or not give as much energy to that particular relationship. Not everyone is meant to be in our closest circle. This is most especially the case if it's repeated behavior and no amount of communication has changed anything. But it is important that we learn to communicate our needs in a way that will be heard. And that is an important part of it. Number 4 is that allowance is the key to living a happy and fulfilled life. And this means accepting others as they are. It doesn't mean, though, that we put up with being treated badly. Allowing others to be authentically themselves means we let go of the gripping and the resistance to what is. We let go of the need to control, and that feels so much better. We can still call boundaries, and that allows us to value ourselves while still accepting the situation that it is. Things like creating space between you and them, putting less energy into the relationship, communicating our needs, and stop trying so hard. These all become much more resourceful when in the space of allowance. Calling boundaries isn't controlling other people. It's about managing our own emotions and our own lives. And I have to say, this has been one of the most difficult and emotional lessons I've learned. But when I let go, allowed, and accepted what was, the situation I found so hurtful at the time totally turned itself around, almost like magic. I was able to connect in a relationship I thought was not going to get any better. And it was a really important one too. So number 5 is also important, and that is don't wait for the perfect time or for things to line up perfectly. This is so important because too often we wait thinking we have plenty of time. And because of this, we continue to procrastinate or put things off. And once we begin delaying, our unconscious mind will then find more reasons to delay. It's how we're wired. Don't get me wrong, we do still have plenty of time. We have plenty of time to do anything that we want. This is our time now, and the world really is our oyster, most especially in our 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond that. But by putting things off, we risk never doing, saying, or being what we want. Reasons like not having enough time or money, feelings like we don't have enough or know enough, are all fear responses, and fear responses can keep us stuck indefinitely. What I've learned is that magic happens when you seize the moment. When you act as if you have enough or know enough, the universe actually transpires with you to bring it to reality. This is about taking action even when you feel doubtful. It's happened this way for so many times for me, and it really has transformed all different aspects of my life. So try to imagine your last few days on this planet. What would you be satisfied with in your life? And what would you most regret not doing, saying, or being? Number 6 is to live authentically from your truth. And when we know who we are in this phase of life, it gives us the potential to live authentically. This is about knowing our core values and what's important to us, making sure those beliefs are sustainable, and then making a commitment to live true to them. And it goes even deeper than this. living from our truth also means from our true soul nature of love, kindness, and compassion. Often during the course of our lifetime, these beautiful qualities have often been obscured by our ego mind, and speaking our truth from the space of love, kindness, and compassion, and also calling boundaries in this way too, allows us to really express our message from the heart. This means others will be more inclined to listen instead of immediately going into defense mode when we don't communicate well. But true love, kindness, and compassion to others begins with treating ourselves in the same way too. This is your time to nurture you first, because it's really, really hard to authentically honor others when you're running on empty. And number 7 is the final insight I want to share for today, and that is to share our wisdom. But it's important to accept that not everyone wants to hear what we have to say at exactly the time we want to say it. And I'm sure you've noticed that. This is about enjoying your wise woman years, and part of your purpose now is sharing that wisdom that you've earned. But it's about sharing with discernment and accepting that not everyone is ready to hear when you're ready to share it. Try not to be offended or upset about that, because it means nothing about you personally. Also, remember that even when you slightly mention an insight, it means that you're planting a seed, and it might not be a seed that you see harvested, but know that you have possibly made a difference in some form to that person's life. This is about sharing wisdom with no expectations. It's about taking the ego out of it and accepting that we might never receive a thank you. That's okay, because as a woman over 60, it's just our job to share. Now, these are only a few of the more important lessons that I've learned in my first 60 years, and even the early years of my 60s too. It's definitely not all of them, not by a long shot. So think about the lessons you've personally learned throughout your life so far. There's probably heaps of them. And notice how they can support you in thriving in this third phase of life. And I'd really love you to share them in the comments too. And I hope you found this content helpful. And if you have, please remember to like, share the video, subscribe to this channel, and click the bell for notifications so you're notified as soon as the next video comes out. Lots of love for joining, and thank you for joining me, and I'll look forward to next time. Bye-bye.